Ladies and gentlemen, imagine trying to fill someone else's cup while yours is empty. Picture a wounded healer rushing from person to person, offering care with hands that are still bleeding. Can a broken lamp light the way for others? Can a restless heart bring peace to another? So often we believe that helping others must come first, that selflessness means ignoring our own wounds. We push aside our pain, hide our struggles, and exhaust ourselves in service to others. But what if the most powerful help you could ever offer begins with your own healing? What if the path to truly lifting others requires you to first stand steady on your own feet? The truth is, you cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot offer what you do not have. Real compassion, real strength, and real guidance come from a heart that has been mended, a spirit that has been renewed. People don't need your perfection, they need your progress. They need your wisdom born from wounds, and your hope born from healing. So, before you run to rescue others, pause. Before you carry someone else's burden, check if your heart is strong enough to hold the weight, because God's design is not that you lose yourself in helping others, but that through your healing, you become a wellspring of life, a source of lasting comfort, and a guide from experience, not exhaustion. Let's talk about why healing yourself first isn't selfish, it's sacred, and it may be the greatest gift you ever give to the world. You cannot pour into others from an empty cup. Personal healing is essential before guiding others. Imagine a traveler lost in a dense forest, exhausted and thirsty. Another traveler, equally weary and disoriented, crosses their path. The desire to help is noble, but without strength or direction, their efforts could lead them both deeper into the wilderness. So it is with the soul. Before you can truly guide, comfort, or uplift another, you must ensure that your own heart is not parched and your spirit not broken. Healing is not a selfish act, but a sacred preparation. Often we are quick to extend our hands to help others, believing that sacrifice alone is a virtue. But what is the value of a guide who cannot see the path, or a healer who has not tended to their own wounds? The world may celebrate tireless service, but in the eyes of eternal wisdom, the one who pauses to restore their strength offers a greater service in the long run. Helping others from a place of emptiness does not multiply goodness. It only spreads the same emptiness further. A vessel, no matter how beautifully crafted, cannot serve its purpose if it is cracked and leaking. We may attempt to share kindness, love, and support with others, but if our inner self is drained, what we offer will be incomplete and fleeting. When exhaustion clouds our judgment, we risk giving advice that is shallow or offering comfort that lacks sincerity. Our hearts may wish to help, but without healing, we may unknowingly pass on our bitterness, fear, or confusion. Consider the rhythm of nature. Even the mighty tree rests in winter before blooming in spring. The soil must replenish before it can nurture new life. This is not a delay, but a design. Likewise, our seasons of healing, times of reflection, restoration, and prayer, are not moments of inactivity, but preparation for a richer outpouring of love and wisdom. To skip this process is to uproot the tree before it bears fruit. True help springs from fullness. A heart that has known healing overflows with compassion that is both tender and strong. It listens without judgment because it has learned patience in its own struggles. It encourages without pride because it remembers its own journey through the valley. It lifts others not with strained effort, but with the natural abundance that comes from a well-nourished soul. Healing is not a distant destination, but a path we walk daily. We may never be perfect, but we can be whole enough to serve others without losing ourselves. And from this wholeness, our service becomes not just an act, but a gift. One that truly uplifts, inspires, and heals. While our scars can inspire empathy, unresolved wounds can harm those we seek to help. Pain has a strange duality. It can be both a source of wisdom and a source of harm. When we suffer and survive, our wounds become marks of experience, silent teachers that shape our understanding of the human condition. A person who has known heartbreak, loss, or fear often finds it easier to walk alongside others facing the same struggles. There is power in saying, "I understand," not from knowledge alone, but from lived experience. Yet, this same pain, if left raw and unhealed, can spill over and cause more harm than good. There is a danger in helping others from a place of unresolved hurt. Pain distorts perception, making it difficult to separate compassion from projection. Sometimes what we call guidance is merely our attempt to fix in others what remains broken within ourselves. The parent who has suffered rejection may become overprotective, confusing fear with love. The friend who has experienced betrayal may offer advice tainted with bitterness, mistaking cynicism for wisdom. Without healing, we risk passing down our wounds rather than our wisdom. The world often praises those who help others despite their struggles, and while there is nobility in such efforts, there is also risk. A wounded healer may inspire, but a healer who ignores their wounds can infect rather than cure. Just as a doctor must first clean their hands before performing surgery, a helper must cleanse their heart of unresolved pain before tending to another's soul. Pain may be an excellent teacher, but it is a poor master. Healing does not mean erasing the past. It means confronting it. Scars remain, but they no longer bleed. And it is through those scars, not the open wounds, that empathy becomes pure. A healed heart offers guidance from a place of clarity, not confusion. It listens more than it speaks, for it has learned the value of being heard. It offers patience, not pressure, because it remembers the slow work of recovery, and it encourages hope, not fear, because it has seen the dawn follow even the darkest night. There is also a paradox here. Healing and helping are not separate journeys but intertwined paths. Sometimes, in helping others, we discover our own wounds more clearly. Yet, it is not the act of helping, but the honesty within it that matters. To help from a place of healing means acknowledging when we are not ready, when we are still too broken to guide another. True humility is found in stepping back, trusting that in our time of restoration we are still serving, not by giving, but by preparing to give fully. In the end, the most powerful helpers are not those who have never been wounded, but those who have faced their pain and emerged with wisdom. Their hands carry not just comfort but healing, not just empathy but strength. Their scars do not speak of defeat, but of triumph, a triumph that becomes a beacon for those still finding their way. Even Christ withdrew to pray and heal himself before ministering to others. There is a profound lesson in the rhythm of his life, one that shows the inseparable connection between solitude, restoration, and service. Though he carried the power to heal the sick, feed the hungry, and comfort the broken-hearted, he often retreated to quiet places, away from the crowds, to renew his strength. This was not a sign of weakness, but of wisdom. It reminds us that before we pour into others, we must allow ourselves to be filled. The world celebrates relentless action, but the soul knows better. Without moments of rest and reflection, service becomes a performance and compassion grows thin. Fatigue makes the heart impatient and the spirit fragile. When we neglect our inner life, even our most sincere efforts become clouded by frustration or pride. There is a reason why seasons of silence often precede seasons of great impact. It is in the stillness that the heart regains its clarity and the spirit its strength. Restoration is not merely about physical rest. It is about reconnecting with the source of life. Prayer, reflection, and solitude are not escapes from responsibility, but preparation for it. Just as a lamp cannot shine without oil, The soul cannot guide others without being replenished. The brightest flames burn out the fastest unless they are tended. It is not selfish to step back, it is necessary. When Christ withdrew to pray, he was teaching us that healing is not something we receive after helping others, but something we must embrace before. There is also a hidden danger in constant service without restoration. It can lead to burnout, bitterness, or even a loss of purpose. When we give endlessly without pausing to receive, we may begin to resent the very people we sought to help. What was once an act of love can become a heavy burden. But when we return to the source, when we pause to heal, to reflect, and to rest, our service becomes an overflow of joy rather than a drain on our spirit. Furthermore, withdrawing to heal does not mean isolating forever. Healing is not an end, but a part of the journey. The time spent in solitude prepares the heart for service, and when we return, we do so with renewed compassion and clarity. We are not only stronger, but wiser, having allowed silence to sharpen our understanding and reflection to deepen our love. The greatest acts of service are born from the quiet moments of preparation. Just as the rain refreshes the earth before new life appears, the soul must be refreshed before it can truly nourish others. There is a time to give and a time to receive, a time to serve and a time to heal. Recognizing this rhythm is not only wisdom but also obedience to the design placed within us. Only when we are whole can we offer others something that truly heals, something that is not drawn from our effort, but from our abundance. True compassion is born from self-awareness and inner peace. To truly help others, one must first understand oneself. It is easy to act from impulse, offering advice, comfort, or solutions without pausing to consider the state of our own hearts. Yet, without self-reflection, our compassion becomes shallow, well-meaning, but often misguided. Real empathy does not come from a desire to fix others, but from a deep understanding of their pain, something we can only reach when we have faced our own. Self-awareness allows us to recognize the motives behind our help. Are we truly seeking to uplift others, or are we trying to ease our own discomfort with their suffering? Sometimes, people rush to solve problems because it is easier than sitting with another person's pain. True compassion, however, is not in offering quick solutions, but in offering presence. A willingness to walk beside someone without judgment or urgency. This patience can only be cultivated by first facing our own wounds and learning to be at peace with them. When we take time to reflect, we also become aware of our limitations. Self-awareness teaches humility. It reminds us that we do not have all the answers and that sometimes the best way to help is to listen, not to fix. Many well-intentioned efforts to help fail because they come from a place of pride rather than peace. Inner peace brings stillness to the heart, allowing us to listen with empathy rather than impatience. It enables us to offer advice without imposing it, and to give support without controlling the outcome. Without self-awareness, compassion can even become harmful. A person unaware of their own unresolved pain may project it onto others, giving advice that reflects their fears rather than the other person's needs. A heart filled with anger or bitterness cannot offer true comfort. It may only spread more of the same. But when a person has done the inner work, when they have confronted their shadows and found peace within, they become a safe space for others. Their words carry authenticity, their silence carries understanding, and their presence carries comfort. Inner peace also gives strength. Helping others can be emotionally draining, and without an inner reservoir of calm, it is easy to become overwhelmed or disheartened. But when a person has learned to care for their own soul, they are not easily shaken by the burdens they carry for others. Their compassion becomes steady and enduring, not a fleeting feeling, but a way of being. Lastly, self-awareness and inner peace remove judgment from compassion. When we have faced our own failures and weaknesses, we are less likely to condemn others for theirs. We learn that everyone is carrying something, often invisible to the eye. This understanding softens the heart, allowing us to meet others where they are, rather than where we think they should be. In the end, the most powerful help does not come from those who seek to fix others, but from those who have healed enough to hold space for others to heal themselves. When you are whole, your help becomes a blessing, not a burden. There is a natural flow to giving when it comes from a place of inner wholeness. Just as a river nourishes everything in its path without effort or depletion, a heart that has been healed gives freely and abundantly. Helping others is not meant to drain or exhaust us. It is meant to be an overflow of the love, wisdom, and peace we carry within. When we are whole, we give not from duty or guilt, but from joy, and the difference is felt deeply by those we help. Wholeness brings clarity. It allows us to understand when to help and how to help. Without it, we may offer support in ways that do more harm than good, rescuing people from challenges they need to face or offering solutions that solve only the surface problem. A whole heart listens before it advises, understands before it acts. It knows that true help is not always about fixing, but about walking alongside someone with patience and care. Wholeness allows us to help without controlling, to guide without imposing. When we are whole, our help is not tainted by personal emptiness. People often give from a place of their own unmet needs, seeking validation, approval, or a sense of worth through their service to others. But this type of giving, though it may appear noble, can become a silent demand. It turns relationships into transactions, where gratitude is expected and disappointment follows if it is not received. In contrast, help that flows from wholeness expects nothing in return because it is given from abundance, not lack. Wholeness also protects us from burnout. Helping others can be emotionally demanding, and without inner stability, we can quickly become drained. But when we are whole, our giving is sustainable. We know when to step back, when to rest, and when to say no. There is no guilt in these boundaries because we understand that our strength to help comes from our own well-being. A tree that bears fruit must first have strong roots, and those roots grow deep through self-care, reflection, and healing. Furthermore, wholeness brings authenticity to our help. People can sense when support is genuine or when it is forced, shallow, or performative. A whole heart offers help that is real, personal, and lasting. It does not rush to fix the pain, but instead shares the strength that comes from having faced its own. Such help empowers rather than enables, encourages rather than pities. It becomes a blessing because it offers not only solutions but also hope, a hope that is grounded in lived experience. Lastly, help that flows from wholeness has a ripple effect. When we help others from a healed heart, we do not only solve their immediate problems, we inspire them to heal, grow, and give to others in turn. In this way, wholeness becomes a source of endless generosity, creating a cycle where blessings multiply far beyond what we can see. Helping others should come from a place of progress, not perfection. Healing is not a final destination but a continuous journey, one where growth and service walk hand in hand. Too often, people hesitate to help because they feel incomplete, flawed, or unworthy of guiding others. They believe that only after they have fully healed or mastered life's challenges can they truly support someone else. But perfection is an illusion, and waiting for it only delays the good we are capable of doing. True service does not come from having all the answers. It comes from walking the path with honesty and humility. The most meaningful help often comes from those who are still healing themselves. A person who has faced darkness and continues to seek the light can offer something far more powerful than polished advice. They can offer companionship, empathy, and hope. Their presence says, "I may not be whole, but I understand. I am walking this road too." Such honesty creates a bridge of trust, reminding others that healing is not about reaching a perfect state, but about moving forward, even if the steps are small. Progress, not perfection, brings authenticity to helping. People do not need flawless guides, they need real ones. When you help from a place of ongoing growth, you show others that healing is a process, not a performance. You make space for vulnerability, both yours and theirs. In this shared space, healing becomes mutual. As you help others find strength, you often discover new strength within yourself. Your progress becomes proof that wholeness is not a distant dream, but a journey worth continuing. Helping from progress rather than perfection also removes pride from service. Those who feel they have arrived may fall into the trap of superiority, offering advice from above rather than alongside. But those who are still learning know the value of listening, of asking rather than telling, and of walking with someone rather than ahead of them. Their guidance is gentle, not because they are weak, but because they understand the weight of struggle. Such help uplifts rather than instructs, empowers rather than imposes. Another vital truth is that helping from progress protects you from burnout. When you believe you must be perfect before you serve, you carry a crushing burden. But when you accept that you are a work in progress, you give yourself permission to rest, to learn, and even to stumble. You help not as a savior, but as a companion, one who knows that healing is a shared journey, not a solo race. Lastly, helping from a place of progress creates a ripple effect. People who see you helping while still growing are inspired to do the same. They realize that they too can make a difference despite their imperfections. In this way, healing multiplies. It becomes a collective journey where each person, no matter how unfinished, becomes a source of strength and hope for others. Progress, not perfection, is where true healing and true helping meet. Healing before helping others is not about reaching a state of perfection, but about embracing the journey of growth, self-awareness, and inner peace. Your wounds may shape you, but your healing will define how you serve others. True compassion comes from a heart that has known pain and chosen to heal, not only for its own sake, but to become a source of strength for others. When you help from a place of wholeness, your kindness carries wisdom, your empathy carries depth, and your service carries authenticity. Remember, you do not have to be flawless to make a difference. You only need to be willing to heal, to grow, and to share from your abundance, not your emptiness. In every act of service, let your healed scars, not your open wounds, become the testimony of hope for those still struggling. You are not called to be perfect, only to be present, ready to give from a heart that understands both brokenness and restoration. As you walk this path, may your healing bring comfort to others, and may your service bring joy to your soul. I wish you all the best on your journey of healing and helping. May you find peace in your own heart and share that peace with the world around you. Remember, every small step towards healing brings you closer to becoming a blessing for others. Your growth, your progress, and your compassion can create ripples that reach farther than you can imagine. Thank you for embracing the call to heal and to serve. Your kindness, your struggles, and your courage matter more than you know. Keep going. The world needs your light.